Today we're going to marinate some mushrooms for mock Philly steak sandwiches. So we have our Italian seasoning, burdock, garlic powder, little pink salt, onion powder, and now we're going to slice the mushrooms. So for the portobello mushrooms, you have to take the stem out of the bottom, just the rough part. That's kind of tough, so you just cut that out, set that to the side. I like to use a wet paper towel and wipe my mushrooms off. Yes, my hands are oily. I have eczema, so I like to keep my hands moisturized while I'm cooking. Sometimes I wear gloves, but my eczema is clearing up, so yeah, my hands are oily. So now I'm just wiping off the mushrooms. I'm not going to soak them in water because they'll be soaking in the marinade, and then I'll be cooking those later. So now we're just slicing up the mushroom to maybe about 1/4 inch thickness. Slicing the mushrooms across the top, through the bottom, because we will be cooking these, and we also want them to have like a little bite to them. So I thought it would be a good idea to put the mushrooms in a plastic bag to marinate, and which I will, but you will see later in the video. I had to switch those out into a bowl because I accidentally put the garlic powder in the bag with the mushrooms instead of the little bowl that I used to mix up all the seasoning. So that's the second mushroom. And now we're just slicing up the third mushroom. I'm going to put that in the bag. And so I believe that's about 4 ounces of mushrooms. So now there's the bowl. Now I already accidentally put the garlic powder on the mushrooms. So that's the pink salt that I'm putting in the bowl. Some black pepper. And you just have to do it to your taste. I'm using a measuring spoon just so I won't use too much. So that's like 1/4 teaspoon. So measuring spoon, and I didn't fill that up, so it's like 1/2 teaspoon. That was the onion powder. So now I take these burdock root capsules, but I also like to season my mushrooms with those. Gives it a little bit of extra oomph. So it's just 1 capsule. I'm untwisting it, and I am putting the contents of the capsule into my seasoning mixture. Set the plastic gel capsule part to the side, and now I'm just mixing up all my seasoning. Very simple. And remember, the garlic powder is in the bag with the mushrooms. So I'm just mixing this up now, getting it all mixed up. The burdock root had a little chunks in it, so I'm just making sure that all of the chunks are out. And again, that mixture is Italian seasoning, peppers, pink salt, onion powder, garlic powder, and a burdock root capsule. So now I'm taking some thick and hearty A1 sauce, and I'm just using what I have on hand because I want to use everything up. You know, I don't expect people to throw out their seasonings, you know, when you're trying to eat better. I'm just trying to eliminate meat right now. So I'm using my regular seasonings that I would put on a steak to season my mushrooms, because I'm making a Philly like steak sandwich. So now I'm mixing everything up because I'm going to pour this over the mushrooms for the marinade. So we got it mixed up pretty good, and I thought it would be a good idea to try to mix it up in the bag, but the bag is too small. So right now I'm just trying to mix up the garlic powder on the mushrooms. That wasn't a good idea. So I'm going to move everything to my trusty mixing measuring bowl. So now I'm just stirring up the mushrooms, trying to get that garlic powder distributed. And everything is to your taste. If you don't use salt, you don't have to. There is a good salt substitute on the market. It's called no salt. You could use that, or you could just omit the salt. And so now I'm pouring my marinade over the mushrooms. Not really that much, I believe. I don't even think I used maybe even a 1/4 cup of the A1 sauce, maybe a couple of tablespoons. And so now I'm just mixing everything up so all of the seasoning can get mixed in with the mushrooms. So after you mix it up very well, I'm going to put it back in the bag because I want everything to mix up really well. Once the mushrooms sit in the salt and the steak sauce, they're going to start to release a lot of their juices, and then that's what you will be cooking the mushrooms in with your peppers and onions the next day. You want to let this marinate for 24 hours. So now I'm just putting it back in the bag because I'm going to put these in the refrigerator and let those sit overnight. And I have to tell you guys, I actually made these today. So the video is the night before. I had these today for lunch, and oh my God, it was so good. I ate it so fast, I couldn't even make a video. But I will make another one. But I just wanted to show you how to marinate your mushrooms. So this video is just the mushroom marinade. And so now I'm just getting the rest of the mushrooms out of the bowl, and I will be sealing up the bag. I like to put it in a small bag, it's just a small amount. This will make 2 servings. I actually had the mushrooms for lunch, and then I had them for dinner. And that's really it. I just wanted to show you how to marinate mushrooms to give them really good flavor. And let those sit in the fridge